This is Future Radio.
Today I'm joined by an award-winning author and journalist, a photographer, publisher, foodie, Samantha Mattox. Good afternoon, Samantha. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to know quite where to start with you, really.
I know, yes, it's a bit like that.
I think I pulled a quote out somewhere here that said you're a woman of many passions.
That's very true.
Right.
That is very true.
So can we start really by discovering about you? Are you a local person?
I am, yes. I was born at the old Norwich Hospital, for those who remember that. And I was born there in 76, so coming into that hot summer. And I now live near Long Stratton, sort of Long Stratton, Hempnell, that kind of way, Norfolk Suffolk border. Right.
So you're a local girl, and what brought you into? Let's take the interest in animals first. Really, we're going to come back to that, but it seems like animals play a big part in your life. You're interested in horses.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So it's specifically Arabian horses. My mum had them before I was born. She had a part bred and then she got a purebred Arab. And so they've always just been there in my life. And, you know, I used to go to the shows. It's the Royal Norfolk Show Tomorrow. That was always the highlight of the year for us. And, you know, we'd be there at 8 o'clock in the morning already in the main ring showing. And it was so much good fun. And times have changed and everything else. We bred horses for over 40 years.
Really?
We did. And we had a lot of success with them, which was wonderful. But off the back of that, I got involved in our local Arab horse group, started doing a newsletter for them when I was about 16. By the time I was in my 20s, I was already on the committee and involved in the shows and everything else. And then one thing led to another, and I started up an Arabian horse magazine.
That must have taken you all the way all around the country, really.
It did. And then I started my own Arabian horse magazine in October 2004. And that's taken me all over the world. I've been incredibly lucky with that.
Incredibly lucky there.
Yes.
And then we come on to the subject of where do we start next with foodie?
Foodie,
now,
yes.
you appeared on TV.
Yes, I did.
Tell us about how that came about.
So yes, I was on MasterChef. I was on the 2019 series. And
why did they pick you? Because of what's your particular food interest?
Well, the way that I love to cook is always Mediterranean meets Middle Eastern, because I've been to Middle East so much with the Arab horses. I love the food out there and the flavours.
A nice connection there.
I put the two together. And yeah, I don't know, I think my application just stood out. And I was very lucky. You had to send a video clip, a 30-second video clip. And I knew everyone else would do theirs from the kitchen. So I did mine from a pub in Santa Fe where Billy the Kid used to go to meet the ladies of the night, next to a life-size poster of Billy the Kid.
This is your creativeness coming out here. This is not the normal way in, is it?
It's not the normal way in. But it also ties into the Norfolk Show, because I was there in 2018. And typical female, I had a phone call to say, and it was to say you've got through to next round of MasterChef. I was with my dad. I had to give my dad my handbag to hold because I couldn't cope with holding something and having that conversation at the same time. But yeah, it went from there, and it was an amazing experience, and it's opened up so many doors for me. I've done loads of cooking demos. I work with local flavours, and I do cooking demos with them. I've done ones up at Snelling's as well. I've done some for Lilac Ladies. It's been really, really wonderful to do.
So this is an ongoing passion of yours.
It is.
Putting on cookery demonstrations and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've got my own website with that, and I actually did a recipe calendar last year as well. That went really nicely.
I will introduce your website because it's a fascinating website, I have to say. I've never seen so many facets of somebody on one website. I have to say that.
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
And then, of course, you've got an interest in photography as well.
Yes, I always have. I went to Norwich High School, and Mr. Bygrave was the arts teacher, but he had a little dark room underneath the stairs, and he.
I loved your story about sort of developing pictures under the stairs.
Yeah, it was wonderful, and I've still got some at home, and it's just that's always like a dream for the future, is to have my own dark room and to go back to doing that kind of thing. But meantime, I just use my phone like most people do.
Right.
And I was just actually in Abu Dhabi for a horse event, and there was a photographer there with his camera, and he was very irate that I was getting better pictures on my phone than he did with his camera.
That is always the way.
He's like, you must be doing
thousands of pounds onto equipment, and you can get the same on your iPhone.
Exactly. But you have to still find your own personal style and flair, and just your eye. Everyone has their own unique eye, and it's just developing that.
Well, you've certainly got the eye there, right? And then I suppose that comes around to the subject today, really, why you're here. And you're a writer. You not only write fiction, but you write for other publications as well.
Yes, I do.
Associated with your interests, of course.
Yes, I do. Mostly Arabian horses. So I've got an article that's overdue to go to a publication in Australia in a minute. So I've been busy with that, and then I've done books that are non-fiction books about specific Arabian horses, and I'm working on a biography at the moment about a specific Arabian horse breeder. And then I have my fiction side as well.
But what brought you into the realms of writing for children? And I think it probably is the most difficult arena to write in. People probably think, oh, it's so simple. Yeah. But it's not easy to attract children's attention these days. There's so many other things going on.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult to do that. And as you say, everyone thinks writing for children's really easy, but it really, really isn't. I love a blank page. If you give me a blank page, I'm really happy because I've got something to go and fill up and to write on and to get ideas out with, because I'm always having ideas. But the idea for Mishkins came in So my children's series is the Magical Mister Mishkins series. It's all
I think we should say that Mr. Mishkin is in fact a cat.
He is. He's my real cat. He's my little ginger boy, and he's at home in a minute. And it was the night before I picked him up as a 8-week-old kitten. And I was playing with names because my previous cats were Minsky, and Merlin. Yeah. And I was just playing with names. So I came up with Mishkins, and I thought if the name suits him, I'm going to write a children's book about him, and he's going to end in apothecary. And it was as quick as that. 20 seconds, the idea came, and then the book came out from there.
And I mean, you had a certain success with this. I mean, it's a beautiful little book. You actually put one in front of me, and I particularly like the illustrations.
Yes.
And it's what sort of age group are you aiming at here? Because that's another difficult thing.
It is, because COVID really changed the reading ages for children. So it used to be very clear, early reader, middle grade, young adult, and obviously chapter books at the beginning. But then COVID happened, and with the lockdowns and everything else, so lots of children didn't have the opportunity to read as much. So while I position this as like 7 to 11-year-olds, which is early reader to middle grade, lots of people buy it for children who are younger because they're more advanced, or they'll buy it for their children and read it to them. But I also have the flip side of that. I have somebody who bought it for their 14-year-old daughter because she hates reading, and this book enabled her to fall in love with reading. I've got people who buy it for English as an first language, so they buy it for their 20-year-old daughter to read, and that helps her to learn English in an easier way than a newspaper would, for example.
Yes, yeah.
Something like that. So it's all just, and then also there's this different side as well. So there's a lady whose daughter, she's in her 30s, but she's ADHD and she doesn't read. So she bought this for her, and she now reads this book, which is very, very emotional.
Yeah, I think I was just thinking back to my own childhood. Now, I had difficulty reading. I had difficulty with just about everything, really, as a child. And I went to this nice lady. I think she was a former head teacher. And I think Mummy got me some sort of tuition on the side, as it were, to try and get me back into the groove. And I was given The Wind in the Willows to read. Yes. And once I got into that book, I was away, and I was amazed when I was looking at my grandchildren's schoolwork that there, as an example of learning to read, was Wind in the Willows.
Yes.
And it's a book that's been around for goodness knows how many years. Yeah. And it's just as much a tool, really, for getting kids interested in a sort of fantasy fun way and learning to read. And so these sort of books do stand the test of time.
They do. And I think having animals as the main character, children can relate to that in a different way. And the beauty, so the first book in the series was Mr. Mishkins' Apothecary, and every single chapter, all the cats in the book are real. My previous cats are all in there. So Merlin and they all live on through there. But it deals with different emotions and fears and worries that children have. So like a new brother and sister. The new book, which is coming out soon, that's got Scared of the Dark, things that go bump in the night. Fed Up, Scared of Thunder, Lightning, all these kind of things. It just takes those fears and worries that children have, and some adults have as well, and then just through the event magic of a cat that comes out of a drawer.
That's a wonderful idea.
Off they go and have an adventure.
I do like that. I mean, let's talk about Mr. Mishkins. You had him as a kitten.
Yes.
I mean, he obviously doesn't get any royalties out of this.
No, he doesn't. he does well, though. He does well. He does well on catnip.
Oh, right, okay. He's paid in catnip.
Catnip and freeze-dried minnows.
Right,
yes.
okay.
They're his things.
You've always been a cat lover, by the sounds of it, yeah.
Yes, I have. I had before I was born, my mum had 2 cats, Minsky and Whiskey. 2 big fluffy black cats, and they've just always been my companions. And I think the bond, when you're a girl and you have that cat relationship, it's very, very special and very, very unique. It's like a girl and a horse as well. So I'm lucky I've had both.
You've gone down both strands at the same time.
Yes.
Now tell us about Mr. Mishkins in your book. I mean, I know he's just a cat who's sat at home wondering where the next meal's coming from, as they all do. Tell me a little bit about the character in the book.
So he's a little bit of a mysterious character, and we actually, in the book 1, we do have a flashback to when he was a kitten, and he walks through the park, and it rained. There's just one raindrop that lands on him, and there's his own little cloud and it's because everything raindrop brings a rainbow. And when Merlin died, I said he was sliding down rainbows with glitter coming out of his tail. So that's how he appears in the book.
Right.
And so this Merlin cat comes sliding down the rainbow, lands at Mr. Mishkins' feet, and explains that he's come from this long line of M cats. Because bear in mind, I've had Minsky, Merlin, Mishkins.
Right, yeah.
And so there's a long line of M cats, and he's going to help children all over the world and adults with their fears. And then, so book 1 came out October 2023, and book 2, The Magic of Mister Mishkins, it's going to be out on the 8th of August.
Right, and that is a sort of special day because it's a National Cat Day.
International Cat Day.
I didn't know they had a National Cat Day.
They have days for everything.
That's true.
So yes.
And you were quite fortunate in getting an excellent illustrator here.
Yes.
How did you find Gerda Smith?
Gerda is amazing. I don't think she is listening over in South Africa. So hi, Gerda.
This is a record for future radio. There's somebody in South Africa listening to this.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I don't know what time of day it is, but
they're only about an hour ahead of us.
Oh right,
actually.
Okay then.
So yes, social media is a wonderful thing, and I was looking for an illustrator. I hadn't said to anyone I was looking for an illustrator, and I got followed because Mr. Mishkins has his own Instagram account, obviously.
Of course.
The Magical Mister Mishkins, and I've got my writer's account. And Gerda happened to find and follow us. I then looked at her website. And I knew exactly what I wanted with the illustrations and also what I didn't want. I didn't want a pencil drawing. I didn't want a crayon. I didn't want a cartoon. But I wanted something that really showed the expression of all the cats in there. And I looked at what she'd done on her website, and it was just perfect. And we work so well together. We're currently illustrating book 2. Bless her, we're on chapter 7 now, and that's a lot happens in chapter 7 because
right.
there's a bit of an incident in the apothecary.
All right.
And she just said to me, I don't even know where to start with this because there's just so much going on, which is good. But she captures my words and turns them into something beautiful that children can look at.
It's a lovely presented book. It's unique. It's a paperback, but I mean it's really unique. There's lots of colour. I like the typeface. I mean I want to read it.
Thank you.
and that's we're talking about the first book.
Yes.
Why has it taken so long to come out with the second? I know you've got a lot of other things going on.
Yes. But it's not. Well, is it long? It's 2 years, less than 2 years, so it's not too bad. But as I say, other things going on. So last year my big focus was as a biography about a lady in America who sadly passed away, but she was a very significant Arabian horse breeder. So we're doing a biography of her. And so last year was churning out 55,000 words for that. Plus, at the time I still did my print magazine. So I did 2 magazines a year. Through the cooking side, I did a cookbook for a client in America. This Will Taste Good, Food to Feed Your Soul, which we dreamed up in Petra. Because we were there for an Arabian horse event in Petra, and that's where we dreamed that up. Yeah. Where else?
And you must have some fantastic photographs of that.
I do, and it was, but that was wonderful again, just to go off to California and just cook for 2 weeks, and and to make someone else's.
Oh, it's surprising that you managed to fit in another book at all. With all that.
But I made someone else's dreams come true, and I think that's a really important part of. I feel that's what I love to do, and that's just to help other people's dreams come true, and. If that's helping a child learn to read or to fall in love with words or even just to enjoy the pictures, then that's wonderful.
Well, I sincerely hope it does. Now, how are you going to launch the book? We've talked about the launch date.
Yes.
Have you got any sort of launch events?
We do. I'm very hopeful it will happen. So Burnham Market, up in North Norfolk, there is an old pharmacy there, which was the original apothecary, and it still has the apothecary drawers in it. So it's absolutely perfect, and it's owned by a wonderful lady, Vonda, and she very generously gave me the space last year for the Burnham Market light switch on. So in the window, because I've got all the original art from Gerda, the A3 watercolours are absolutely stunning. So I actually had a picture in the window of the old apothecary of Mr. Mishkins in front of the apothecary drawers with the real apothecary drawers behind, which was just absolutely fantastic. So I'm going up to take over that space again, definitely on the 9th of August, which is a Saturday. But maybe I'll be up there as well on the actual 8th as well.
If you can remind us near the time, we will do a bit of a launch ad for you.
Perfect, thank you.
And will Mr. Mishkins be there?
No, because
they're a bit difficult to take around, cats, aren't they? They don't take too kindly to that.
No, they aren't. He's a very nervous little boy, actually. He's an indoor cat, and he comes out to my office with me, and I pick him up and carry him a bit like a handbag, bless him. And he's happiest when he's with me in the office and just be with his mum type thing. But if you put him in a cat basket to take to the vets or cattery,
about that, don't they?
Not annoyed. He trembles. He gets really, really upset. And I've never actually known a cat shake, but he does.
I've seen it.
It's never good, but he's always fine.
Right, now, how can, apart from coming to see you on your launch day, how can people obtain your 2 books?
Okay, so samanthamathematics.com and mrmishkins.com, they are the websites, and they are both up on there. So Mr. Mishkins' Apothecary is currently reduced to £10 in paperback, and that's book 1. Book 2 is only available currently as a pre-order hardback, because I did 100 limited edition of those. Yeah. And everyone who orders a hardback does get invited to the book launch as well. But I'm hoping at the end of this week, the start of next, it will be rolled out onto paperback there. So all the normal places. Paper Moon Books in Burnham Market have already confirmed that they're going to be stocking it. I'd like to work with as many local independent bookshops as possible. There are the obvious online ones, but I think to support independence is really, really important. And as you say, Gerald's
talked about
closing
earlier today about Gerald's, which is a great shame.
That's a huge, huge loss.
Yes,
it really is. I was shocked. I was very, very shocked by that.
Yeah.
It makes me very sad because it's such a part of our history.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like wandering around a bookshop.
Oh,
I mean, I admit I have ordered books online and I have Kindled in the past, but I never get the same satisfaction. And when I sit in my living room and look at all the books that I've read, they'll probably be never read again. But it's just an accomplishment. You've read them and you can remember them, whereas electronic books just fade into the ether, really.
Exactly. Mr. Mishkins' Apothecary is in Book Bugs and Dragon Tales in Norwich, and that's a beautiful little bookshop. It's really geared up towards children. They do lots of activities there. It's such a lovely place, and you don't get that when you have something turn up in a brown cardboard box at your door. You don't get that interaction.
It's not the same,
you don't get that personal touch. And what a beautiful place to linger in a bookshop dreaming of cats.
I know. Well, I wish you every success with this one, and I'm sure there'll be another one following along in the next couple of years.
I have
You've probably got some ideas in that head of yours.
Yes, I have a full book series planned, but there's a new character in this book, a little giveaway. He's called Nero, and he's a miniature schnauzer, and he's going to have his own spin-off.
Wow.
So, yes, there'll be
thank you very much for sparing your very valuable time.
Thank you for having me.
I look forward to seeing you again, and every good wish for your book career.
The sound of Norwich.
This is Future Radio.